Yup.
How's it going, Jack?
Not bad, not bad. Um,
So what are you up to?
just lying in bed, to be honest, because I've flipping been working all night on the Probellum stuff. So
Okay, so
sort of
who's
sitting.
on this Friday?
Uh, I didn't do all of these, but Ritson, Joe Laws, Troy Williamson, Joe Mafosa, and a few Northeast guys that are sort of lesser. Like not lesser. How do I put it? Sort of more prospect type guys
Yeah, lower profile guys.
that you'll hear about in future.
Yeah. Well, Troy Williamson, that's good to see him. He's obviously is he defended his British title?
Yeah, British title. Can't remember what the guy's name is, and apologies for that. But he's a defending the British, so that's on there. Then um you've got Joe Laws is in a 6, and I believe Ritson's is a 10 rounder.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
up in Newcastle at the arena.
Okay. Is that the Utilita, whatever it is,
Yeah,
arena?
whatever they've changed the name to now.
Utilita, whatever it's called. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So, how did the matchmaking go? Did you find it easy? Or
It boxing's never easy. Yeah, it. I do realise some of the time to an extent that it's one of those mad situations. Like it is pressure, especially with a show like that. But as of
yeah.
tomorrow, everything will be done, and like everything will be in with the board, and hopefully Friday night everything goes well.
Yeah. Well, best of luck with that, man.
Yeah,
Um, See you doing what you're doing. So obviously the main reason why we're here is you would have heard about Joshua Buatsi versus Craig Richards. Had their press conference today. Did you? It was on Talksport also. Did you manage to catch any of that today?
I caught some of the stuff being said in the background, yeah, because you just have it on. But I really like that fight. Like, I actually think that's fair play to both teams for taking that. Like, I like that fight. Um, I think people will write Richards off, and it's the wrong thing to do because I think he's got that experience, which we're going to find out really how good Buatsi is.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
do think Buatsi is very good. But we're going to really find it out this time with this fight, I think.
yeah. So why do you think that is that people are overlooking Craig in this fight? And
People will overlook Craig because obviously the hype around, and this is where Matra have done really well with Buatsi. The hype around him is so much that he kind of will have been thought of already as almost like the next big thing, and
hmm,
so people will just assume that Matchroom wouldn't risk him. I think Matchroom have decided to risk him because you have to do it before you go to world level.
yeah, well, he's been a pro for 6 years, so
Yeah,
you know, um, some will say. I heard someone make a comment of he's the longest reigning prospect they've ever heard of because for 6 years he's still being spoken about as a prospect. Um, and when's he going to get let off the reins? Because he was due to fight Maxim Vlasov in December, but he withdrew with injury, and then that never got rescheduled. And obviously now we've got the Craig Richards fight. So yeah, we'll definitely find out um, fully what Buatsi's made of because Craig is his, biggest fight on paper, and his biggest fight that he's gonna have. It's not the biggest fight Craig Richards has had. It's not the best opponent Craig Richards has been with, but it's going to be the best opponent um, Buatsi's been in with as a pro. Obviously, we know he was an outstanding amateur and he did very well there. So, guys, in the comment section, I see people writing who you got, Richards or Joshua. Okay, so yeah. What's your prediction for this fight?
I think Buatsi, but I don't think he would stop Richards. I genuinely think that if it's going to go 12 rounds, I I don't. I think Buatsi may end up outboxing Richards, but I think the only way Richards will win the fight would be to stop him. I wouldn't want to write Richards off though, because it is genuinely a decent fight.
Hmm. So you think Buatsi would outbox Richards?
Probably. Just the style that Buatsi has. He's looked fluid. I know he's not fought anyone of the level of Richards, but still.
Hmm. Yeah, because my counter to that is, when have you actually seen Buatsi outbox anybody? Even as an amateur, even when he was in the Olympics, he never actually outboxed anybody. He was stopping people in the Olympics, so that's why. Remember, Floyd Mayweather was coming to the fights and looking to try and slide him up as a pro. He hasn't actually outboxed anybody. He's a come forward, strong combination type of guy. He's not slick. He doesn't really use his jab often. He's a more mid-range to inside hooker type fighter. So in an
But
actual match, I think Craig would be the superior boxer out of the two.
the thing is, people seem to forget that Buatsi can box. He just doesn't. I think as a pro, you haven't seen it because he hasn't needed to. I mean, yes, he is better as a come forward fighter, but he can box. Anyone who's been to the Olympics can box to an extent. I mean, he's not a bang a bang one punch is one trick thing. It's not anything like people used to say. Oh, Deontay Wilder couldn't box. He can't compared to a lot of people, but he's still an Olympian. He still could box. He just deserts the ability to do that. And I think when Buatsi needs to, he will show that he can box a bit. But I just think he hasn't needed to.
Yeah, but do you feel he will need to this fight then?
I feel like he will have to more so because I think Richards is good, and Richards to me is, for me, there's world level then world class, and Richards is kind of fringe world level, to be honest. He is, I would say, he's on the fringes of world level, whereas I don't think Buatsi's been in with anyone near that.
Yeah, his best opponent is what? Liam Conroy, who even Jose Burton dispatched of, and Bolotniks. But Bolotniks is 18-6. He's been stopped 4 times. Even Andreas Evangelou took him out. So, yeah, he hasn't really fought any stellar
That's a fight
opposition.
I'd like to see, actually, Bolotniks and Conroy. Not a fight anyone will really call for, but it would be an interesting one.
No, Bolotniks would stop him because remember, Bolotniks beat down Jose Burton, and Jose Burton knocked out Conroy.
Yeah, good point. It'd still be an interesting fight though, for as long as it lasted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They both got
I,
similar style.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. My physio Croydon, how's it going? Um, so yeah, did you manage to see that Don King won the purse bids for the Trevor
For the
Bryan
Trevor Bryan and
deal?
yeah, that
Over
that
$3 million.
surprised me. The thing that surprised me most about that is the actual size of the bid because it was over 3 million. I
Yeah,
don't know how they're ever going to make that. I know it's dollars, but I don't think that fight does 3 million in the States.
no, because Trevor's not.
Um,
He's not a star like that, is he? Not that
I'll
I
be
know of.
honest. I'm kind of agreeing with someone in your comments who says that fight won't happen. It might happen, but I do think I think it's almost definitely going to end up defaulted because King has done that in the past,
Yeah,
and I think Frank will end up doing it for like 2 million. But I still think he's overpaid.
yeah, but I guess the curiosity drink didn't work this time. But Don King did overbid on that. That's well overbidded.
Yeah, I mean that is ridiculously overpriced. I mean I'll watch it, but I'm not sure I would would watch it as a pay-per-view. If BT are trying to sell us that as a pay-per-view.
Or Don King's trying to sell it as a pay-per-view. I don't know what he's.
I
That's the
mean,
only way.
yeah, if he's trying to sell it as a pay-per-view in the States, I feel sorry for Americans.
Yeah, Don
Because
King
it's like $80 out there, isn't it?
Yeah, Don King Productions wallet for over 3 mil. He's going to have to
Well,
because I don't
yeah,
know.
but it isn't going to... I don't know how you can make the money back.
Yeah, even on the gate, I don't. How many? I've never watched a Trevor Bryan fight properly to study if he's a ticket seller. I don't know.
Uh, I mean, I don't really know enough about him. The only fight I've seen is the Stavern fight, and then a few highlights. I haven't really seen a great deal of him.
Yeah,
And to be honest, he didn't look that great against Stavern.
yeah, yeah. Astro's Machine, only fighter earning over 3 million is Jake Paul. Yeah, but with the 3 million, it's not all going to one guy. They've got they split it. Ash. So Trevor will probably get like what one.
It's 60-40, isn't it?
Yeah, 60-40. So Trevor will get like 1.7, 1.8 mil. And yeah, and Daniel Dubois will probably get a mil, I imagine, which is really good money, to be fair.
I mean, that's really good money for the fight that it is.
Yeah,
That's
that
not a
is.
dig at Dubois at all, by the way, because I get why Dubois is doing it, but like, they have overpaid, and it amuses me when people overpay by that much.
Yeah, but to be fair, who's Don King got? He's probably that's all his marbles are in the Trevor Bryant business, I guess, because I don't know of any other fighters he's got signed at the moment.
Uh, well, Stavern was one, but I think he's retired, and then Makabu, Ilungu Makabu.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
but
the
yeah,
only other one
yeah, and
the only other one I can name. There probably is others.
yeah, and he probably thought he was going to cash in very well with the Canelo job, but
Yeah,
that didn't come
that
to fruition.
that's weird. I mean, I don't know why Makabu stays with King really, but I mean, there was a time, whether you like him or loathe him, Don King was probably the most powerful man in boxing. But that time isn't here now, and it's a strange thing to think we're sitting in 2021 and 2022, sorry, and we're seeing Don King win a purse bid for a world title, depending what you think of the regular title.
Yeah, but how old's Don now? He's got to be pushing 90.
I thought he was over that. I think 93, 94.
Yeah, so him and Bob, they've put in a real innings in this game. Bob Arum and Don King.
What does this mean? I've got 70 years left.
If you if you
Jesus Christ, that's gonna be a long old.
yeah, because Don King he's been smoking cigars and stuff for years. So well, people are longer these days.
I mean, I'm 24 and I'm in boxing, so God, does that mean I've got 70 years to work in this?
Yeah, because there's videos of Bob Arum and Don King in their youth. You know,
Uh,
you check the YouTubes and stuff,
yeah,
you see in the 20s as well.
what was it? Isn't Aram's matchmaker like ridiculously like up there in age as well? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's been with him since um, the 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least the 80s because he's been there a long time. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
he's very good at what he does. Don't get me wrong, and he's
yeah,
clear. So people wouldn't have
kept him on.
kept him around if he wasn't.
Yeah, because matchmaker turnarounds are usually about 5 years, and this guy's been doing it for probably like 40 for Bob.
A lot of promoters as well. Um, a lot of matchmakers will go and try and promote, but at some point, if they've got the money to do it,
Mm,
personally wouldn't because I'm quite happy to be involved, and I quite like the idea and what have you, and have my own ambitions in boxing. But I don't think one of them's to be a promoter unless I absolutely had something happen that meant that I suddenly came into a load of money.
Yeah, and or you've built up a rapport with a good amount of fighters to,
Yeah,
have a good start-up stable, because you don't want to start right at the bottom with, just a bunch of like journeyman guys. You want to have a guy to sort of flagship your company.
as a manager, you could do it with journeyman guys, but as a promoter, it would be hard. And unless you
Yeah,
train guys, that's the other
yeah,
way you could do it, is if you train prospects. But
yeah.
like I work with Matt Jobs, and he does that. He trains the guys he promotes, so it kind of works. But like, if you don't do that, it's very hard to kind of build a stable.
Mm, yeah. So then moving on to this weekend's shows, we've got Boxer, Ben Shalom, with Richard Riakporhe defending his WBC um, title, his version of it, versus Dion Jumah. So how do you see that one going in the cruiserweight division?
I think Riakporhe wins, and I think he does stop Jumah, but I do quite like that fight for as long as it lasts. Like, I do quite rate Jumah as a fighter. I think I'm going to agree with your comment again. Ash Jones. I think 8 to 10 is about accurate, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. So why is that? Why do you see that?
Just because I think Jumah is good enough to hang with Riakporhe for a while, but I think eventually Riakporhe's class will show. And I just think, I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something about Riakporhe that I can't quite put my finger on that I like, and he seems to
Mm,
break fighters down.
yeah, yeah. And also, it doesn't. I don't think it helps because a lot of people, some people have said that they think Dion Juma can outbox Richard, which he might do in
Mm.
spells, but also he's been out of the ring for a very long time. So I think, inactivity and momentum is with Richard, as he's got wins over Sam Hyde, Jack Massey, Thomas McCarthy, and Chris Smith. Like, these are four top, cruiserweights in the domestic scene. Richard's beat them, which people don't really take note of and give him credit for.
He doesn't get enough credit for the Billum Smith win, to be honest, in my opinion. I think
Yeah,
of all of them, that's the one that jumps out to me I go, ooh, hang on. I mean, and the Tommy McCarthy, but like, the thing with it is, Jumah's, I think he's had one, hasn't he, since one fight before this, but like in recent memory, but there
yeah,
was
he
like
had
a
one.
6 rounder or something.
Yeah, against nobody.
Because I believe that was on a show that I put a fight on, if I remember rightly. Um,
It was in
it might have,
Perth. It was in Purfleet somewhere.
yeah. I think it was either Victor Smith or Scott Callow or someone's show. I believe I put a fight on there. Um, I might be wrong, but it was definitely one of those shows. And I put a fight on one of those recently to help them out, because I help them out sometimes. But it's just like one fight and then this. I mean, credit to Juma for stepping up and doing it.
That's
Circus
it, Ash.
Tavern, somebody's just put it in there.
Thank you for that.
Cheers, whoever put that in there. And
Ash
yes, I
Jones,
definitely.
Mr. On the Cobbles. So yeah, thanks for that, Ash. Yeah, so as you say, the one fight he had.
He had one fight and then to go into this. So, I mean, he obviously feels like he's fit. I don't know him personally, so I can't say. I can't say 100%. Oh, like he's fit and fighting, but I don't think he would take that fight without being it.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
just
Well, he's
think
very confident.
Riakporhe is probably going to eventually get to him, because I think Riakporhe's got potential to be a world champion, possibly.
Yeah, and I think he's got the momentum on his side. I think Jumah's probably banking on their old spars, where apparently he got the better, as we know, sparring, and it was years ago when Richard was less experienced, whereas Jumah is a former two-time ABA champion. So, in that respect, in a sparring match, and at that time, he would have the superior ability, I would believe. Ash Jones says he's confident, which is a good thing. He was already in camp for a while. Yeah, Mikel Lawal, true. So he is not. He hasn't had time to adjust. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and that was a 10 rounder for a while. He'd been in full, full real camp.
Oh yeah, he had a proper camp, but it's just I mean, I understand why he did it. Like, I mean, if I was in his position, I'd probably do the same thing, because when he is fit, Dion Jumah is a very good fighter. It's just, obviously, we don't know how fit he feels, but he clearly feels fit enough to do it, and fair play to him.
Yeah. So then also we've got this weekend, the Zone Matchroom heading up to Leeds with Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington 2, even though the first one was Warrington Kiko Martinez, and even though Josh Warrington won it, it's billed as Kiko Warrington due to obviously the fact that we've got Kiko's the champion.
Got the belt, yeah.
What a turnaround of events. And Kiko Martinez is 34, 35, even though he looks about 45. But that's another story for another day. But how do you see this one going?
Right, so I do think Warrington will win, but there is, and this is where I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, because even me as a matchmaker, I kind of look at it and go, Kiko's still got a punch, as Kid Galahad found out. So Warrington will, for me, I think Warrington will win, and I think he'll either win on points or a late stoppage. But there is always the thing with Kiko, and he will always, and I think it will be the last thing to go, is the power.
Yeah.
There's always a puncher's chance when you're fighting Kiko Martinez.
Well, what I'll say, when's the last time Josh actually stopped somebody? Because Josh is an accumulation, volume
puncher, isn't he?
He's not a puncher.
That's what I'm saying. He's like an accumulation guy. He's not a power puncher.
Yeah, when you look at his knockout ratio, it's very low. So I don't think he'd be stopping someone like Kiko, who's tough and experienced, and he knows his way around that ring, very much so. And he's been in with a lot bigger punchers than Josh Warrington. He was in with Pat Barrett's nephew, Zelfa Barrett.
Zelfa, yeah.
Yeah, Zelfa, Kid
Was
Galahad.
that the weight above the Zelfa fight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it would have been, because I was going to say, I'm sure that Zelfa's the weight above. Yeah.
Zelfa, Kid Galahad. These guys all hit, Carl Frampton. These guys all hit harder than Josh Warrington. And none of them was able to get rid of him. So, I don't think, Frampton as well. And none of them, so I don't think Josh would be able to get rid of Kiko. But I think he would, it most likely be a points victory for Josh with the volume, because Kiko, he's been around the block, and I don't think his work rate is going to be high enough.
I don't think you'll see the Kiko that, if you think back to his early career, and obviously some of his footage I've only seen, being as young as I am, I've only seen later on, but you think back to his early career, he wasn't ever a massive workhorse, and I think he probably works even less now with the age thing. So I think you're right on that. The only way I can see Warrington getting the late stoppage is if Kiko's corner do pull him just because he's behind quite badly.
But he was behind very badly against Kid Galahad, so I think
Yeah,
they're gonna
good point.
because that was a beating he was getting, and he still pulled it out of at the rabbit out hat. So they definitely ain't gonna, especially going by. Kiko managed to pull that out of the bag against Kid Galahad, and then going by the fact that Warrington, 2 fights ago he got laid out, and then his last fight, people were saying if it wasn't for his headbutts, he would have got laid out again. So they're
I was
always
at
gonna,
that.
yeah. So they're always gonna
Yeah.
feel that as long as Kiko's in there, he's still got that chance to lay out Warrington, who hasn't looked good in his past 3 fights. Because even when he fought Kid Galahad, that was a very tough, tricky night where he didn't look too good himself, Warrington.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's an intriguing fight, really, isn't it? Like you didn't think it's another one of those. We're in 2022 and Kiko Martinez is a world champion. How has this happened?
Yeah, he was world champion like what 10 years ago.
Yeah, like fair play to him. Like he's one that when the time comes and he does retire and he's served his I think he's what is it 3 years eligibility of continuous retirement. He'll end up in the Hall of Fame in Canastota and he'll have earned his place there.
Yeah, and
And he is a Hall of Fame fighter, but
yeah, and he's won the European multiple times. So, he'll definitely go down in Spanish history as probably one of their best fighters, if not the best, to come out of Spain, because he's put in a real shift.
I mean, yeah, and it's funny because he comes here and the British crowd love him.
Yeah, because he's been robbed a couple of times. A lot of people feel he won the Zelfa Barrett fight. So yeah, and he always, he's always valued for money. He never comes to lay down. The British public, have kind of adopted him. Hence, he comes over here so many times and fights. And he's back again. His first world title defense is not even a homecoming in Spain. He's doing his first world title defense over here. So it shows that he really does like the British crowd, the British public, and he feels, he's got an affinity with Britain. Ash
I'm
Jones says,
curious now. Then, did you have him beating Barrett? I mean, I did, but that's
yes,
a
I
side
did.
note. Yeah,
I, I did.
I
I
did
did.
as well. But I mean,
Ash Jones, he had him beating back. Okay, Ash Jones says as well. So yeah, that's 3 of us.
I think most people, apart from the judges, do, don't they?
As I was in the chat, give your opinions, guys. So yeah, any other fights? Got Ebony Bridges. I haven't seen their opponent fight before, so I can't really.
I'm trying to think who our opponent is. Oh yeah, I know the girl. I've seen a bit, but I've only seen footage. It's not. I don't really
Yeah,
know what to make of her opponent, to be honest, from the footage I've seen, because the sort of few bits of footage I've seen, she boxed 2 completely different ways, which was like, okay, this is weird.
shout out 10 lenses. Who else? Oh, we've got Dan Aziz. He's fighting Matthew Tinker, and this is a good fight. The reason being is they've got history because Matthew Tinker beat Dan Aziz in the amateurs, so this is a chance for him to avenge an amateur loss. His first defense of the British title, which he wants against Jose Burton. And obviously, he's recently signed now with Boxer Double X. So I'm really looking forward to that fight as well.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said about this amateur thing, because I didn't actually know about it, and I was like, when I saw that, I thought, that makes that fight, that just adds that little bit of interest when there's something happened. I mean, look what happened when you think back to the White Joshua fight. That was the whole build-up, wasn't it? The amateur stuff. And I kind of like it when that happens, but it is a completely different game. But I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Tinker to really have a massive thing of whether he can beat him or not. But you know what? That's part of the intrigue on those sort of fights for me. When I haven't seen a great deal of one of the fighters, I'm just like, there's always the surprise is on. But is it really a surprise?
Yeah. Well, we know Tinker's definitely going to feel confident coming
Yeah.
into this, because as Ash has just said, Big Tinker spanked him. So he spanked him in the amateurs. I saw that he beat him, but I haven't seen any footage of the fight. But so apparently he spanked Dan. So yeah, Dan's going to want to avenge that, and Tinker's going to come in thinking, "Yep, this is my chance to be on TV and win a British title against a man he's beat before." So this is going to be real tasty. Dan Aziz comes to fight, Marvin Hagler style. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Boxer's putting on some really good cards, to be fair. Yeah, Dan
It's
said
it.
he got embarrassed. Oh no. Well, he's going to want to have a redemption on that. What's your opinions?
Do you know what the thing with this is as well with stuff like when you were saying about Boxer putting on big cards and good cards, and I know Probellum and MTK do this as well, but there's a lot of British journeymen ending up on these cards with prospects that don't normally get, because Matchroom tend to bring foreigners, and that's not a dig at them at all, by the way. Sometimes it's probably easier, but they are, a lot of these journeymen are getting out on these big cards and getting decent, I'm assuming decent paydays, because I don't know what Boxer pay because I don't work with Sky, but
Well, I imagine they do because
yeah,
they got the Sky budget, and yeah, you're talking about like, for instance, the Azim brothers.
yeah.
Yeah, like they'll fight the journeyman guys,
They
but
fought MJ Hall, didn't they? One of them, and Ellison was the other one,
yeah,
I think.
but I was in a Twitter chat with you, and you were saying that um,
Oh
on
yeah, he was supposed to fight Dale Arrowsmith.
yeah, no, but I think you were saying that Frank Warren pays the best when it comes to
Yeah, I
journey.
couldn't really include Sky in that because I don't know what Sky pay, but yeah, out of Matchroom and things like that, that's what the journeymen tell me. Although to
Yeah,
be fair to Probellum and Boxer, um, and Ash, bit harsh because he's my mate. Um, I've just read your comment. Um, he is a mate of mine. And there was a lot of stuff going on in the background, which Steve will say, which I'm not gonna. Um, it's up on Sporting Icon's YouTube. I think that he said it in an interview. But with the thing, yeah, with the payment, one of the managers said that Warren pays a lot. He wouldn't obviously tell me what, and I never ask. But yeah, apparently Warren pays a really well. I mean, I can't imagine any of them pay badly, but you know,
yeah. Well, that's probably why guys like Kamil Sokolowski keep fighting on Warren shows.
I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah, but he's been getting good paydays anyway because um, he fought Otto Wallin and he fought that he got stopped last weekend against that Uzbekistan guy, didn't he?
Oh yeah, him.
On the zone.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that guy.
what to make of him.
Oh, he looks a real handful though.
Yeah, he does, but then there's times I see him and I think, right, where do you fit into all this?
Yeah. Well, he's only had 9 fights, so you got to give him a chance. Do you know what I
Oh
mean?
no, I'm not saying throw him in with anyone now, but I'm just. Have you seen the Russian guy? Am I allowed to say that? Yeah, probably. Um, the guy who's
Don't get me taken off now. But no, go on.
yeah, um, the guy that beat Wilder in the amateurs,
No,
Magmedov.
Magmad. Oh, I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, apparently he fought recently and looks very good. He's only had about 10 fights and he's ranked by the WBC, I want to say.
Okay.
So he had like 10, 15 fights. He ranked by, don't know who he's beaten.
Yeah, that's it. Jalalov, he won the Olympics. He beat that American guy who looks like Tommy Morrison, Tommy Gunn, in
Oh, him, yeah.
the finals. Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. He's turned pro as well. Actually, I
Is he
saw his
turned
debut.
over? Oh,
Yeah, I saw his
that'll be
debut.
interesting.
Yeah, his debut.
Mate,
Yeah.
you never know. It'll be 2025 and we'll see him fight on a Don King show against Trevor Bryant for a weird title that nobody cares.
WBC version or something. But yeah, that
Don King, aged 107, still promoting a show.
crazy.
In
But
a
yeah,
weird way, I don't, but at the same time, I kind of want to be at a Don King show at some point, just because.
yeah, because I've never been to one. Have you?
No,
Yeah, I've never been to one. To be
I've
fair.
never. The only one I've been to in the States is a Matchroom show, actually. No, actually, Golden Boy show. It was Golden Boy when they were promoting Canelo.
Okay. Do you know what? I don't even know what promotion it was I went to. Who promoted, anyone in the chat, please, or if you know, who promoted um, Kovalev versus Ward 1?
Was that not what do you call it? The guys who promoted Povetkin as well.
I know Kathy Duva was Kovalev's manager.
Yeah, but he did something for Povetkin as well, but I can't remember what the promotion's called.
Yeah, because I went to that fight in America in the T-Mobile Arena. I don't even know.
I went to Field in Canelo. Yes, I got sold that dream.
Okay. And what's her name? Clarissa Shields made her debut on that card as well. Funny enough, when I was there. Yeah.
Rock Nation, apparently. Was it? Okay.
Okay. So I went to a Rock Nation show. Imagine that.
Aren't they more known for
Music.
yeah.
Yeah, Jay-Z and all that. Because I remember Jay Prince was there. Pernell Whitaker was there. Pernell Whitaker.
Did he not own part of it? Pernell Whitaker?
I don't
Like
know, you
part
know.
of the boxing side of it. I feel like he did, but I might be
I
wrong
don't,
on that.
but he's passed away now.
Yeah.
But he could have. Best show I've been to was Taylor Prograis. Who promoted that?
Top
That
Rank, I think.
was that Top Rank?
Actually, or was it part of that
No,
series?
yeah,
Or
it
was it
was
part
right
of
there.
the Super Series?
Yeah, the Cali brothers, Souderland.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was.
because
That
I know Taylor's with Top Rank. That's why it jumped in my head.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it would have been the WSB, wouldn't it?
WBS, whatever it is. Yeah, that's Cali Souderland, German promoter. So yeah, that was a good. Yeah, that was a good.
I mean, that was a great fight. To be fair, if you were at that, Ash.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking. Well, as we saw, Prograis knocked out what's his name, Tyrone McKenna. So I really look forward to seeing if Taylor vacates his belts. I'd like to see Prograis versus Jose Ramirez for one of the belts.
Mm.
I saw Prograis say that he was looking something about he was promised a Jose Cepeda fight for a belt, but I think the Ramirez fight is better. I think
He also called. Was it him that called Catrell in the ring? Or like wanted Catrell in the ring?
yeah, but they
Rebellum
kind of
wouldn't do it, which
yeah,
kind of made sense, to be fair, because that would have been a nightmare.
yeah, but they kind of messed Catrell up. They've stuck him at like third or something in the ranks.
Yeah,
Did you
the
see?
WBO have. I think the BC have still got him ranked second.
I hope so because that's out of order, man.
I don't know why. Yeah, Progress versus Catrell is the fight I'd like to see, Ash. I'll be honest. It'd be a great fight.
I think Progress
I don't
is.
know who wins that actually. And people say, "Oh, Catrell lost. Progress lost to Taylor, and Cattrall. All right, let's be honest. Cattrall beat
Yeah,
Taylor. The only three people in the room who didn't know that was the three
yeah,
judges.
yeah. And but Prograis Taylor fight that could have gone either way, because
Mm.
Prograis won the first half of that fight.
Oh yeah, it was a
So
close decision.
very close. So yeah, Prograis versus Cat will be very interesting to
I only
watch.
gave that to Taylor by a round, by the way.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So
And I mean, I wouldn't have argued if you'd given it to Prograis by a round. It's one of those things, isn't it?
yeah, so yeah,
It's one of those things when either one winning by a round is
fair.
fair, and you're not going to say it's a robbery.
Yeah, no one screamed robbery. Even Prograis couldn't say that.
I think he jokingly said it, didn't he, afterwards, and
Yeah,
like about 2 days afterwards, like, oh, robbery, I want a rematch. No,
no,
you
it's
know,
just that.
possibly.
Let's not dislocate your shoulder trying to reach with the Frank Warren shoulders. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. Anything you want to tell the viewers to check out, because you've got a show. Well, you're part of.
I'm part of Probellum's one, but I don't.
What's
I don't.
channels it viewed on, or is there a stream link for it or something?
It's on Eurosport.
Okay,
It's
so
actually
go
on
ahead.
Eurosport. I don't know what time the TV bit starts, to be honest, because obviously I'm going to be there, so didn't really look, but I'm sure Probellum will put out when it starts. But it's on Eurosport, and Probellum have signed a deal with them now. So, yeah.
That's yeah. Yeah, I imagine
A
it'd
bit
be probably.
terrifying that they did that when I was midway through making some of the 4 and 6 rounders, because I'm like, oh my god. All of a sudden, I'm kind of I don't know if any of these are on Eurosport, but this is a bit worrying.
Yeah. Sonny Edwards told everyone Eurosport, Dan. Okay,
Oh
but
yeah,
Ash,
Sonny Edwards is Sonny
what time?
Edwards.
What time? Got no time. But it's probably about 7, 8. I imagine the TV slots will start coming in. So yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
half 6, 7 probably.
yes, big up pugilist Tony. Great show tonight on the breakdown. On
I'm just going to ask, just because I'm going to create a bit of controversy here. What's everyone's thoughts on Sonny Edwards? I quite like him, but I can kind of get why he would rub people up the wrong way.
um,
7, thank you.
my
Whoever
thoughts
just
on
said that.
he's a very good fighter. He's got that ball matador style. Um, obviously, it's gonna, he doesn't punch hard, so it would be hard to kind of sell him. But he is very, very slick and very good boxing skills. Um, great boxer. Dan's favorite person. Don't say that, Ashley. We're the favorite person. Personality wise, he's rubbed a few people up the wrong way. He's very passionate. Um, gets into arguments quite quickly with LL trainers, uh, different people. Some of my friends, some people I know. He said some things that I don't agree with. So that's. But when I see him, I'll talk to him on that. You know what I mean? It's not
I
everything for
mean,
the.
who was it? There was someone gave an interview the other day who said they love the fact he has an opinion on everything. And I
Oh
was
no, his
like,
boxing opinions are very good. He's very knowledgeable in boxing. On
yeah,
Twitter, if you follow him on Twitter and stuff he says, listen, that's why he will have a good career after boxing as a boxing analyst and pundit, because he knows boxing. Trust, he knows his stuff. But
do
when
you
you
know
watch his,
what?
take all the trolling and all that lippy stuff away, he knows boxing. So yeah, he's a good guy to follow on that.
Do you know what they have? If they have him ringside at a fight and on the analyst side, just watching a card, you kind of listen to him and go, he really does know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
he does.
and it's some fighters can struggle to critique other fighters. He really doesn't care.
Yeah, because a lot of fighters, they don't want to offend their colleagues, so to say, because these are his colleagues, these are his peers. who he's in the industry with, but he gives very good and fair assessments, I believe, when it comes to the boxing part. So yeah, he'll definitely have a good career. Someone's got to snap him up. Probellum, whoever signed him, you better try and make sure you got him sealed as an analyst slash pundit in years to come, even starting from now, because obviously you just get the experience. Because yeah, he knows his boxing, and he's a very good boxer, very good technician. Him versus Martinez. Sorry, I think he'd outbox
Martinez.
and get the vengeance. Well, I wouldn't say vengeance because he's fallen out of his brother, but he'll get that win for the Edwards name, I guess. You know what I mean? He'll get some respect back for the Edwards name in beating Martinez, and I think he's trying to target Chocolatito after. I think Chocolatito at this point is probably still a bit too tasty, but hey, it's a good fight and it'll be very competitive. That's for sure.
I like the Martinez fight personally.
Yeah.
I think like it was weird. About 2-3 months ago, I said I don't know if I'd be doing that, and then I watched Martinez fight and I went, you know what? He's got a chance of going there, and if he does that, that'll be the thing I would liken it to. That'll be his Nassim Hamed Kevin Kelly moment, I think.
Yeah. Shout out Wadi Camacho inside.
I think that's the way you look at it, because that'll be his night that people remember, I think, if he beats Martinez.
Yeah, that will be his breakout performance because everyone knows that name. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when he won the world title against the African guy, I don't even remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but nobody knows the guy, even though he's been over such a long reigning world champion. People over here don't know him. The casuals, even a lot of hardcores like myself, don't even don't know the guy. But someone like Martinez, Chocolatito, these kind of guys, we all know. So if he beats one of those type of guys, then that's when, you know, his name will propel into Muthaleen. What's his first name? Yeah, what's his first name?
I knew who he was, but
yeah, it's like
it was kind of like I knew who he was, but and I knew how good he was, but I don't think he would ever have got the credit for that.
Oh yeah, no one knows him. But yeah, you get these the South American kind of guys, the Mexican guys. That's when people start to take notice. So yeah, I'll just keep doing what he's doing. Just keep doing what he's doing and just try and tone down, not upsetting everybody. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to create too many enemies in this game. Yeah. But the only thing I will say, the funny thing is, I notice his accent keeps changing. One minute he's London, then it's a Mancunian accent. But I think that's probably him hanging around with Lyndon for a bit. But yeah.
Does he live in Manchester now? So,
I think he does.
I assume so.
I think he lives.
I know him and Lyndon are mates, aren't they?
Yeah, I think he does live up there, but I don't even know where he trains. So I don't think he's in the Pat Barrett gym, but
no, he isn't. I don't believe he definitely doesn't train with Pat.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he trains, but yeah, I think he lives in Manchester. But
apparently he lives in Sheffield.
Or
trains in Sheffield.
Yeah, so I don't know where the Mancunian accent comes from, but yeah, he needs to chill with that. But yeah,
he trains at Steel City. That makes sense.
Yeah, good fighter. Knows his stuff about boxing. You know what I mean? Stick to the boxing. Stop getting caught up in controversy so much. Obviously, give it to some people, especially if people are just starting on you for no reason. You've got to defend yourself. But
I kind of almost would accept it with the whole if he went back and forth with Martinez because he's trying to build the fight, but like.
Oh yeah. Of course, you got to be. Yeah, when you're fighting someone, you got to do your thing. But just people, you know what I mean? Normal people and stuff. He's telling people suck their mums. It's like, come on, mate. Like, come on. That's very unnecessary. So yeah, but yeah, moving on from him.
Sorry, I just thought I'd throw one out there.
Yeah, so yeah, moving on. But yeah, we've got the Probellum card. in Newcastle, Ulatita on Eurosport. We've got Boxer with Double X on Sky Sports this weekend. Richard Riakporhe versus Dion Jumah. Sorry, who's the headline of the prevailing card this weekend? Is
I
it
believe Ritson's headline, although it may be Troy's British title. I believe Ritson's the headline, though.
Lewis Ritson or Troy Williamson as a headline of Probellum? Got Dion Jumah. Sorry, Richard Riakporhe versus Dion Jumah with the undercard of Dan Aziz versus Matthew Tinker on Sky Sports. We've got Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington 2, even though Warrington won the first one, but he's got the title. So, yeah, Ebony Bridges is on that in a world title fight.
I really hope she wins the world title, although she does kind of owe me a little bit because I bought a ticket of her to go to the Warrington thingy fight, the Warrington Lara second fight, and then obviously it got stopped on a head clash. So I wind her up about that all the time. Like whenever she posts about a memory about that night in Leeds, I always say, "Yeah, you owe me for that," because I went all the way to Leeds. It was a £90 cab back to my parents because I couldn't even go to mine.
Well, where do you live?
I live in the northeast, and they live in Yorkshire, so it's easier to get. It was easy to get to them.
£90, my God.
I had a Airbnb, and they cancelled it because I was going to the boxing. Brilliant.
Yeah, Caroline Dubois is on. So yeah, is there any American cards this week?
Not that I know of, although there may well be a PBC one that I've never heard of.
Only Pugilist, can you give us an update on that? Or Ash Jones Machine, or Dylan Harris, big up Henry Colin.
Yeah, he's one of my followers, I think.
Is there top? I don't know. You tell me, guys. Let me know quick.
We just asked that. Like none of us know.
It shows a shout out. Oh, Tim Tszyu. Oh, okay, Costa Tszyu's son. Who's he fighting? Oh, actually,
he's not supposed to fight for a world title eliminator or something.
Yeah, he's in a good fight this weekend, and because I knew it was coming up soon, but Burchell
comeback.
Will come back.
Is it? Okay.
No, he's not fighting Burchell. Tszyu's like 154.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, what the hell?
Miguel Burchell is also in action. But who's
yeah.
Who's Tszyu fighting?
He was in line for Castano. Yeah, I thought he was.
Yeah, but Castano's fighting the Charlo brother rematch. And you know what? I'm looking forward to Errol Spence just dealing with this 147 stuff because I really want him to go up to 154 and fight Castano because there's a backstory to that. That Castano, see, a lot of people don't know this, but I know because I'm the master aficionado. That Castano beat Errol Spence in the amateurs, so that would be good.
Yeah, see, that one I did know.
Oh, you did know, see, so, but yeah.
So. Only because I've heard it mentioned a couple of times, but that would be a good fight.
Yeah.
The thing is,
who's Tim fighting, guys? Come on, let me know.
Can somebody tell us? Because I want to know if I need to watch it live or if I should watch it on repeat.
I didn't even stay up for Edgar Berlanga last week. I thought, nah, I already know what's going to happen. He's not going to look good against Steve Rolls. And I watched it the next day and I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
Again, this isn't a dig at Steve Rolls, but I don't think anyone ever looks great against him.
Oh, Terrell Gooch.
Does anyone know who that is?
No, I do. He's a good fighter. He's been on a good win.
I have to look this guy up because I actually don't, and I feel like I should.
Yeah. Yeah, Terrell Gooch. Yeah, he's a good fighter. Yeah, he's a good fighter.
Good if Tim's in a fight that. I suppose, yeah, if you're in line for Castano, you can't really not fight good people. I mean, if you're going to fight, you may as well fight someone
proper
of decent. Because Tim Tszyu doesn't feel like he's been around that long. I know he's probably been around longer than I think, but
no, it doesn't.
I think maybe due to COVID, his it's been a bit weird.
And a lot of his fights have been in Australia, so we don't really.
Yeah,
They're so
one
far
of
ahead.
his annoyingly his one of his fights was in Australia right after I came back from Australia in the town I was in. Yeah,
Did
annoying that.
they have the wildfires there?
No, that was uh, it was during the pandemic. Just after the pandemic stuff started to ease, when
Okay, no
they had.
pandemic. There was all these fires going around.
Oh yeah, there was actually. That was but he fought in Townsville, and that's where I was for like 6 months.
Yeah. Thanks for the love, everyone. I see the hearts flying around. Um, but yeah, so look out for that. Also, guys, uh, I think that wraps it up. Thank you very much, Jack, the matchmaker, coming on, giving us that good knowledge and good chat. And hope you enjoyed. Also, look out for the latest episode of the Neutral Corner. It should be out on Thursday evening, with featuring John Harding, Pester, with myself on the Neutral Corner. But until then, we've done it live. It's Danny Glover, Fight Fan TV Live. And remember, persistence beats resistance. Right. Thanks, man, Jack.
But